Shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that ruled well. They taught us this truth. Salutations and shalom to the brothers and sisters across the four corners of the globe, as well as the confusion of faces like the speckled bird of Israelites that look like the other nations that do believe. And I'm just going to dive into it. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 18. And it reads, "And now when I prepared the world, which was not yet made, even for them to dwell in that now live, no man spake against me. For then everyone obeyed. But now the manners of them which are created in this world that is made are corrupted by a perpetual seed, and by a law that is unsearchable rid themselves." And it is basically saying that since we came down onto the face of this earth, and dabbled in the flesh, everything is spoken against the spirit that made it, man, which is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, because like you said, when we were first with the Most High, everything was in obedience. That's the reason why the Lord is trying to bring his spirit down on this earth to make everything completely perfect, because right now everything is not perfect. In fact, creation is destroying itself. And that's kind of what this lesson is going to be about, man. People say that the Most High is unmerciful, but if the Most High gave man, or the flesh, power over this earth, what would happen? It would destroy itself, Whereas the Most High, he is not a God of death. He's more of a power of life, The death comes in when you step up towards that and you try to combat righteousness. But this is verse 20. It said, actually, I kind of want to get that, what Paul said, man. I think it's in Romans 7. Yeah, this is Romans 7, and I'll just start at verse 7. It says, What shall we say then? Is a law sin? The Most High forbid. Nay, I had not known sin but by the law, for I had not known lust except by the law. It's like except the law had said, thou shalt not covet. You're right, because the flesh has its own law, man, which is out of the spirit, man. And we've been born back into this world, since we fell. When you come back into the flesh, you're born into the flesh, man. And that's the reason why Yahweh came down to bring us back to the spirit, to the understanding of how things actually are supposed to be, and not this natural way that we've been going about things. It says, but sin taking occasion by the commandment wrought in me all manner of concupiscence desires. It says, for without the law, sin was dead. And these desires often lead to being contrary to how we're supposed to lead our lives, contrary to the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And it says, for I was alive without the law once, but when the commandment came, sin revived, and I died. So the quickening of sin is the death of us, man. And that's the reason why we have to get up out of this. Because, when we were in the world, what we all doing? We was doing the same things that we talk about that the 2/3 do, that we were thinking that the right thing was wrong, that the wrong thing was right. And the inhabitants know that there's something wrong with this world, but they don't know the discernment between right and wrong, man. And some of them love wrong so much that even if you introduce it to them, they can't receive it anymore, because they have desires of unrighteousness. They have pleasures in unrighteousness, Salaki. But I'm gonna go back to that 2nd Ezra, man, because this is the great mercy of Yahweh Shai Yahweh, that he did not pick every nation on the face of the earth, but he chose one nation, and out of that nation he chose Yahweh Shai and the elect to come back for redemption, man, which is not of our works that we get to receive anything, because like the elder Menachem Zagba had said in his video a few days ago, we all really should be dead. But this is the Lord's mercy on all mankind, that he did choose a number of tribes and nations out of the whole face of the earth, and then they went off and they had to be chastised, but according to his promises, and in him being a fair power, because he could have, did away with us as well. He made an elect, and he made Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai is what brought us back and adopted us. Otherwise, we would have been altogether cut off, man. And that's the reason why the Lord, for once, for one lifetime, actually did cut us off. Not only with this slavery, but starting with the first captivities, man, on down until now. You could just feel that His presence when we were in slavery. His hand for favor was really not upon us like that, man. He was jacking us up, man. All right, but this is going back down, verse 20. It says, "So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that had come into it," man. Right, because our desire for unrighteousness in this flesh is so strong against the spirit, that naturally these people pick wicked kings, man. That's how strong that the flesh has become, man. They don't desire Yahweh. They don't desire Yahweh Shai. They don't desire to hear the prophets. What does the scripture say, man? That O Zion, that these are they which strive with the priests, man. They combat and they fight against it, man. They declare war against what's right and what's wrong and wicked. They join hand in hand, man. As the scriptures say, man, thou sawest a thief and thou consentest with him, man. But this is verse 21, and it says, "And I saw and spirited greatly, and kept me a grape of the cluster, and a plant of a great people. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept." So basically, because of this love of unrighteousness, all those people that were created to do what's contrary, according to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, calm down. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain. As I was saying, all those people that basically come down and do all manners of unrighteousness on this earth were pretty much born in vain, because they lived contrary to how the spirit was, man. Which the spirit says that that he that keeps these ways shall have everlasting life. Even says, "Be not over much wicked, why should thou perish, man?" I'm gonna get some of these scriptures, as a matter of fact, instead of just shouting them out. But this is Ecclesiastes 7. This is Ecclesiastes 7, verse 17. It gives you the balance, but right now I'm just going to read this one right here. It says, "Be not overmuch wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou die before thy time?" Because we already know that to be too much into this flesh is death, man. And when I say too much into the flesh, some of the desires that we can mention aren't necessarily wicked, but then they can, the more you do them, well, the more of the flesh you become. And I could say something, but I'm not gonna even use that because that's not all the time case. Sometimes guys just be undercover, and I just leave it at that. But you got some certain things that the Lord said that are in the flesh that we shouldn't do all together. You have that. But then you got some people that tiptoe around grease, and then when you're tiptoeing around even righteous desires, if you do them too much, well, you're basically forgetting Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, because you're supposed to be doing His will and His works. And some things in the flesh are His will and His works. Hey, like the elder Uriah said, be fruitful and multiply is probably one of the only commandments that Jake didn't go off on, which is naturally in him. Hey, how you doing? Going back. It's the second Ezra, chapter 9. Verse 21, it says, "And I saw and spared it greatly, and kept me of a cluster and a plant of great people." The great people being Yasharallah all together, but that seed, which is going to renew the plant, is the elect, starting with Yahweh Shai, man. Because that's the seed that's going to be planted in the kingdom. That seed They kept these things, man. Uh, I'm not sure if I overlooked it, but it says that the Lord, it might be in this part. I'm not sure if it's in this chapter, but it was talking about the commandment is the Lord sown in man. Could have actually already passed it. People rid themselves of that. But I'll read this verse because the Lord is coming. That plant and that seed is to come back for men that are resembling Him in His likeness, which is to follow after these law, statutes, and commandments, to believe in Yahweh Shai, to be like Yahweh Shai to the best of our ability. That's really how you're following after the law, statutes, and commandments. But understanding at the same time, you won't make it via the works because you won't be perfect. Yahweh Shai took the rest. You're gonna fall, and you have to be on people the same way you're on yourself, which is to be balanced like that. But this is 2 Ezra 9:17. It says, "And he answered me, saying, Like as the field is, so is also the seed. As the flowers be, such are the colors also. Such as the workman is, such also is the work. And as the husband is himself, so is his husbandry also. For it was the time of the world." Exactly, man. Because going back, Yahweh created Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Shai created the elect and the angels, and that's how everything came to be. Because everybody was like Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, and we're gonna be like that again, man. We're gonna be gods like that again. All right. But right now we have to have that same spirit in the sinful flesh, and that's the mercies part, that the Lord reserved men like that. All right. But this is verse 22. It says, "Let the multitude perish then which is born in vain, and let my grape be kept and my plant. For with great labor have I made it perfect." And this is how the Lord has made it perfect, man. Throughout the course of history, He kept that seed of men that had His Spirit reserved from this generation, man. Even if they fell on not so good grounds, the Lord, it was good ground spiritually, But verse 23, it says, "Nevertheless, if thou wilt cease yet 7 days more, but thou shalt not fast in them, but go into a field of flowers where no house is." It's like it is going to him fast. I'm really trying to see if that I'm just read from when he opened his mouth. It's 2 Ezra 9:28. "And I opened my mouth and began to talk before the Most High and said, O Lord, thou didst show us thyself unto us. Thou wast showed unto our fathers in the wilderness, in a place where no man treadeth, in a barren place, when they came out of Egypt. And thou spakest, saying, Hear me, O Israel, and mark my words, thou seed of Jacob. It says, For behold, I sow my law in you, and it shall bring fruit in you, and ye shall be honored in it forever." Yeah, so that's the spirit of the Lord is going to sow in us in the kingdom, man. He sowed it in Jacob by giving it to us, through Moses physically, but this time He's going to sow it in the spirit, because the flesh, has basically been triumphant over the spirit. Well, I'm not going to say that, but darkness has been received in this world more than light. I'll say it like that, because righteousness has always been guiding the way. But in this day and age, wickedness has had its rule. But this is verse 31. It says, "For behold, I sow my law in you, and it shall bring fruit in you, and you shall be honored in it forevermore," which is all the blessings that we're going to receive and the understanding. It says, "But our fathers which received the law kept it not, and observe not thy ordinances, thy ordinances. And though the fruit of thy law did not perish, neither could it, for it was thine, yet they that received it perished because they kept not the thing that was sown in them. So that's the reason why the Lord is going to put that spirit in us. Well, it's like he's going to put that spirit that we have with him, and righteous flesh. He's going to make the flesh like the spirit. That's what's going to be sown in us, to always be like the Lord, man. You're going to be born up knowing the Most High. As soon as you come out of the womb, man. Well, for those that have to return, I'd rather not return that way. But yeah, man, that's the Lord's mercy on this present evil world, man. Is that He set up the elect. He said that they were with Him from the beginning, man. All right. This is Hebrews 9:6. It says, "Now then, these things were thus ordained. The priest went always into the first tabernacle, accomplishing the service of the Most High. But into the second went the high priest alone, once every year, not without blood, which he offered for himself and for the errors of the people." Which is what the high priest would do. They would offer first for their own sins and then for the sins of the people. Which we understand that Yahushua came and he did all of that when he returned, man. His sacrifice was good enough for the entire world, all right? And when I say the entire world, I'm talking about Israel, man. But also for the inhabitants of the earth as well, because when these people are set on top, when the righteous is set on top, everybody else is going to be blessed that follow after, man. And that's the reason why anyone who doesn't is going to be, of course, cursed. Although there's still going to be a hierarchy, as it is in this world. But it says, which was a figure for the time then present. That was for the past. It's those things were of a carnal service, man. That you would get a purified sacrifice, and you would, for the sins of the people, to atone for the wrath of the Lord, you would sacrifice unto the Lord, man. But these things were continual and they weren't good enough. It says, in which were offered both gifts and sacrifices that could not make him that did the service perfect, as pertaining to the conscience. In which this is true. Because, hey, Jake was still going to hell off. Man. That's why the best sacrifice we ever had was Yahushua, man. That's why he's the eternal sacrifice, and nothing else can touch it. It says, which stood only in meats and drinks and diverse washings and carnal ordinances, imposed on them until the time of reformation, until the time of when the Lord would come and he would reform our minds, man. I'm gonna go from there. I'm gonna come back. Because it's about us, following Yahushua in word and deed, spirit and truth. This is 2 Ezra 14:34. It says, therefore, if so be that ye will subdue your own understanding and reform your hearts, ye shall be kept alive, and after death ye shall obtain mercy. Which is that's the thawa, that's the mercies of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, all right, sent to the elect number of men who can look like any different nation, but their seed line goes back to Israel. That is the mercies of Yahweh Shem Yahushai on all flesh. And it wasn't about how you looked or how you acted. Well, I'll say how you act as far as if you have the understanding, but you got different spirits and that be in the Lord. But as long as they follow the truth and be of a righteous spirit, none of that really matters. But it says, verse 9, which was a figure for the time present, in which were offered both gifts and sacrifices that could not make him that made the service perfect or pertain to the conscience, which stood only in meats and drinks and diverse washings and carnal ordinances, imposed on them until the time of reformation, until the time of Yahushua. But Mashiach being come and high priest of good things to come, by a greater and more perfect tabernacle, not made with hands. This is to say, not of this building. It's not of a carnal building, man. You know, because the carnality has destroyed the entire world, man. This is all about worshiping Yahweh Shai in spirit and in truth. Like Yahweh Shai said, the time will come that those that worship the Most High shall worship Him in spirit and in truth, not in a carnal service, man. That's why we suffer with Yahweh Shai right now, man. And the suffering's almost up. All right, the whole body's about to get out of that jail cell, man. First it was the head, you know, and then the rest of the body followed, man. How much more shall the blood of Hamashiach, who through the eternal spirit offered himself without spot to the Most High, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living God? And this cause he is the mediator of the New Testament, that by means of death, for the redemption of transgressions that were under the first testament, they which are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance. So it's all about, you know, the Lord coming back to save this world, man. It's better than any superhero movie that you can ever name. And this is real life. The Lord is coming back to save the world from itself. As a matter of fact, Netflix has a new show where I forget the guy's name, but he was on Altered Carbon. He was the Asian guy, and basically he's playing the part of what's supposed to be like a Superman, an alien that came from outer space, and he literally saved the Earth from itself because they was about to nuke everything, man. You know, they needed to save it, and it was really just a show to say that without the Lord, man, hey, this world would perish. It naturally rejects him anyway. You know, it hates life. That's why everything that we have going on right now is promoting death, man, in every way. And there's nothing that you can say against the inhabitants, because some of these people were meant to die because they were born in vain. Somebody who's born in vain, how can you teach them to live, man, if they were born for nothing? How can you give them purpose if they were born for nothing, man? Which this is the true purpose. This is the true light, man. All right? For where a testament is, there must also of necessity be the death of the testator, which was Yahweh Shai. For a testament is of force after men are dead. You know, his will and his testament is what they would say, man. Otherwise, it is of no strength at all while the testator liveth. Yep. So we're dead to this flesh, man. We're dead to the ways of this world. All right? Because we're trying to live in the spirit, and we will much more perfectly come to a theater near you, man. So, you know, I'm going to end this lesson off. I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. And salutations to the hopeful elect brothers out there pushing this truth with all diligence and sincerity, risking their freedoms and their lives to do so.